Hey guys, this is Sean with Integrity Ranch. Wanted to go over some of the pegs we use with you guys, kind of show you what we use, what we like, and what we wouldn't recommend. So to start off, these are actually two different brands of pegs. As you can see, they're a little bit different. Really, they're the same peg though. This one has more spacing. So what you get with these are going to be at most of your local feed stores, hardware stores that'll sell electric fence stuff, Tractor Supply. These are going to be some of your main options. They come in white or black, and they're really not worth the money. I'm just going to be honest. This foot breaks off because they're so hard to get in. This is so thick right here. This is so thick and this is so weak that it pretty much will always break off. These are a pain to get your wire in and out of. You got to hold that out to get your wire out. They're really no fun to deal with. Disclaimer, we didn't buy these brand new. Bought some of these used, so I got a deal. I didn't want to talk crap on certain brands. I just wanted to tell you guys what we use, what we like, what we found last, you know. So these are some other options here. These will be pretty easy to find. Tractor Supply carries them. They're at a lot of your fencing stores. And these are a little better. I would rather these than those. But the problem with these is it doesn't give you very many options. You have 4 options for spacing. So if you're going to do a 2-strand, this is way too low. And if you're going to just do a 1-strand fence for sheep, this is too high. And so it doesn't work very well. The other problem you have is this foot that you step on to put it in always slides off because it's just sitting here. This is so big that when it's dry, you can't hardly get them in the ground. And then they're kind of cheap. You know, these just break off. So these are really not worth their money. They're cheaper though. All these are cheaper. This is an OBriens knockoff. So it's designed to look just like an OBriens step-in, but it's not the same thing. This is a lot smaller, so it goes in the ground better. But the whole plastic of it is just cheaper. As you can see, we've already lost a lot of these clips. I mean, they break off so easy. It's insane. I mean, you just break them off. And then this is the real test. And to see these and the OBriens, they're the same age. I painted them at the same time to keep them separate from some other pegs I was using. And the paint's faded. The paint's hardly red. It's more of a pink. And then this is kind of the main test that you can do.
Break into like 5 pieces.
Yeah. So with OBriens, these, you know, it's cold today. It's like freezing right now, 30 degrees. Yeah. I took my other big coat off and my gloves, but it's cold. So OBriens, even on a cold day, you can bend and touch. And I'm not saying I recommend doing that. And see, I've got a little bit of bend there, but you can do it. So we use OBriens pretty much for everything. We use them on the cows. We use them on the sheep and goats. Like almost, this is all we use on the sheep and goats. With the cows, we use these, and then we use pigtails here. So these, I'm gonna go ahead and say the name because I think they haven't fixed the problem.
They need called out.
Patriot makes these, and they started off making a really nice peg, and then they started using some crappy plastic, and they just crack, and then all that arcs out. Now they fixed their plastic, so now they fixed the plastic, but the foot on the Patriots, now you can just bend it right off on their newer pegs. So Patriot hasn't fixed the problem. I wouldn't recommend them. I'm not sure of the name of these, but these are the ones I like. They have a cap here, so this doesn't over arc out, and they're made out of really rubbery plastic that just lasts good. I really like these. I also like the pegs that Greg uses, the Terragates, but they're a little pricier, and I have to order them in, and so I haven't really used very many of those because ordering and all that's not too fun, and it's expensive. So we use OBriens, and then we use a lot of these on our cow herd. And on the sheep and goats, we're pretty much just using OBriens. And then we have about 100 of each of these. So this is just a piece of 3/8 rebar with an insulator. These insulators are pretty sweet. They just, you tighten them right up. You can pull them off. You can slide them on anything from 1/2 inch to 3/8. Tighten that up. So we have about 100 of these. When it gets real dry in the summer and you can't seem to get your pegs in, instead of pre-drilling like a lot of people will do, pre-drilling your holes, we'll just take this out there with the hammer it in, goes in, and it's actually a lot faster than trying to pre-drill your holes. Same thing with the sheep and goats, other than we have some with 3, and so we can move those around if we're doing 3 wires at the time, or 2 wires, or you can just do 1 wire.
Adjust it to wherever you want it.
Yeah, and you just pound them in, you know, and when it saves a whole bunch of time when it's really dry to use those. The other thing we'll use some at the sheep and the goats is we'll just have a regular pigtail post, and we'll put these on it. And then when you're kind of making a corner, you use a pigtail, because they've got a lot more, lot rigider to hold your corners than these OBriens. And so we do have some of these on a pigtail that we use for the sheep and goats. But other than that, we just use OBriens for the sheep and goats. I mean, they're, you know, these are old pegs, and we're not exactly soft with our pegs. I'll use it to hit weeds over, you know, a little bit of brush when I'm setting up a fence. And like 99% of all of our pegs still have all the clips on both sides. Any knockoff you get is gonna be missing.
This one's missing 3 of them.
It's gonna be missing some of these, you know. I mean, these are just, they're missing them. And the thing about both these right here is we never use these. These sit at the shop, and we only use them in emergencies, because you can't get them in the ground. You know, when it's wet you can get them in, but the rest of the time it's a pain to get them in. And the spacing just doesn't work very well on these, and then on this it's too hard to get your wire in and out of. These, like I said, these were designed to be, a OBrien look-alike. I mean, you're dealing with the same height, the same exact spacing on these. That's the one thing they do have going for them, is the spacing is perfect, because it's just like an OBrien. The spacing on OBriens really couldn't get better. You know, if you want to run 4 strands to 2 strands to 1 strand, they have a space perfect for all of them, you know. So I love the spacing on these. I love the spacing on the look-alike. I just don't really like the peg itself, because you guys seen what I did to the OBriens, and when you do that to these, now we got to clean all that up.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We'd really appreciate it.